So we say goodbye to 2025 and say hello to 2026. There's been a lot going on this year for wrestling, and there's been so many things that have happened inside and out of the ring. It was a bit overwhelming with what was around and many matches and shows to go through. But for this case, I decided to stick with what I have watched firsthand, especially in the moment. What's up guys, Kawasaki here. Today I'm going to break down my top 5 certified hood classics from last year. Now, what is a certified hood classic? A certified hood classic is my personal take on match of the year. And what makes a match a certified hood classic? I critique the match based off the following: build up, in-ring psychology, pacing, payoff, and how much I enjoyed, and if I want to go back and rewatch it. Now, as a disclaimer, this is my personal opinion, so take everything with a grain of salt. This is all subjective. If you like this list, click on the like button, and if you disagree with the list, please let me know in the comments down below. And before I get into this list, I'm gonna list off some honorable mentions that could have made my top 5. I kind of had my mind settled on my top 5. So here is a list of all the honorable mentions. Without any further ado, let's get this started. Kicking off the top 5, at number 5, we have Kazuki Hirata versus Yuki Ueno over at Wrestle Peter Pan night number 2 from August 31st, 2025. The definition of short and sweet. It comes out the crowd with a huge pop. About the second guest coming out, but then decides to take on Yuki Ueno after he just won the belt off of Kazusada Higuchi. A true underdog, so much fighting spirit. The crowd's really behind Hirata this time. They've been waiting for a moment like this from him. With Ueno being the champion he is, he doesn't really give any openings for Hirata, and despite Hirata being fresher than Ueno's really pushing through the pain for this, or from the last match. And right as Ueno's about to go in to finish a JOB, Hirata sneaks in a small package roll-up and steals the win and the KOD championship without even realizing it. Once the match was over, the belt was raised, the realization kicks in, and he was about to regret winning the belt off of Ueno, as there was no intention to win it. But to Hirata, he's so awestruck when it finally settled in. A true moment for his 15-year career in DDT. Coming in at number 4, we have Danshoku Dino versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now this one gets a little personal, because this is the story of two wrestlers going down two different paths and they finally cross. And just for a little bit of trivia, they both went to the same university in Japan and both started wrestling, give or take about a year or so, like time frame, but around the same time. A very emotional weight on Dino's shoulders going into this. He is seen coming out and he's on the verge of breaking down crying, which he did once the bell rang. But getting into the aspects of this, when Dino knows to lock in, he truly does. This is the epitome of comedy versus serious wrestling and what DDT really is. Going through all the comedy bits, it was a cool, nice way to see Dino pay homage to past DDT wrestlers as well as some New Japan wrestlers, where he does the Bomaye from Shinsuke, the Kamigoye from Kota Ibushi, Keiji Muto's moonsault, Takagi Stunner, and the Rainbow Maker, just to name a few. A highly emotional matchup. Tanahashi, despite working in New Japan practically his whole career and it's starting to settle down as he goes into retirement, he even gave in to the comedy bits, such as lip locking, the claw, and last but not least, the thong. Although Dino lost, it was one of those matches where you feel warm inside from beginning to end. Not in that way. Pause. Alright, as we're moving up to this list, we're going to be getting a little more serious and a little more work rate / real graps. Because coming in at number 3, we have Natsupoi versus Saray over at Stardom Dream Queendom from December 29th, 2025. It started off hot right out the gates, and throughout the match, with how Sarray is, especially with Stardom, it goes to show that she is a true force to be reckoned with, being especially aggressive towards Natsupoi since they are real life friends and Sarray just wants to see Poi at her best. Sarray is giving the definition of tough love, and Natsupoi showing the real underdog archetype persona with fighting a very steep uphill battle. Great hopes, shines, hard-hitting high spots from the both of them. But no matter what Natsupoi dishes out to Sarray and how much she fights out of all the Sarray's heaviest hitting moves, it just wasn't enough to get the victory this time around. Though, at least in the end, they bury this hatchet, and Natsupoi proves to Sarray that she is not washed, and she's going to be giving it her all going forward. Coming in at the runner-up on my Certified Hood Classic matchup, we have Mayu Iwatani versus Io Sky back at Marigold Grand Destiny in October 26th. Now this one has a lot of history into this. The Genius versus the Icon, when East meets the West. Nearly 8 years in the making for this match to happen. It would have taken a miracle. There's nobody that knows these two better than each other, which makes it quite the story into the ring. Kind of similar to a mentor versus a student storyline. Mayu wanted to prove that she's able to be the ace, one that can surpass Io. I think these two could have threw in way more like moves you haven't seen in a very long time from the both of them. We did see some hints of their moves that they got in their back pocket, but I feel like we kind of had a mix of Io now versus Io back then. Just a little more fed Io. I definitely like to see them compete in the future again with a much higher stakes, and not gonna lie, it was kind of cool to see the locomotive German from Io again, because she doesn't really pull off that move anymore. Coming in at my Certified Hood Classic, this one just hits a little heavy. Coming in at number 1, we have Tom Nakano versus Sai Kamitani from All-Star Grand Queendom, April 27th, 2025. This one is all or nothing. How can you strip one person after pretty much taking their clothes off their backs? This match had so much weight going into it, and this just didn't happen over a span of a few months. This was a multi-year build-up. But how this entire trilogy started, it all started with Saya taking the World of Stardom Championship off of Tom Nakano last year at Dream Queendom. This was the first of the final few nails in the coffin. Fast forward to March, Saya forces Tom out of her own group, the Cosmic Angels. And not just that, she forced her way out as a contracted wrestler for Stardom. So she was pretty much working as a freelance. That's the second nail. And at the end of that, Saya threw out the challenge to Tom. Winner take all. World of Stardom Championship. And their careers on the line. As I said before, this feud's not just from the end of 2024, but it has spanned over 5 years starting in 2019. And building up to this, they've competed against each other so many times. 5-star Grand Prix matches, singles matches, tag matches, the Wonder of Stardom Championship title matches, the World of Stardom Championship, and all those times, Saya has been able to overcome and defeat Tom. What does Saya want? To strip Tom of everything. Titles, her group, dignity, and now her career. She wanted to break Tom down until there was absolutely nothing. She did it at Sumo Hall. She did it at Korakuen Hall. Now she's gonna finally put the nail in the coffin. Angel versus a little demon. But getting back into the match, they threw everything out. They pulled out all the cards, all the stops, and just the entrances. Knowing that one of them may never wrestle, their pacing and aggression in this match, perfect. Especially on Saya's end and Tom. Psychology, incredible. They've worked each other so many times. They know each other's offenses. They know each other's defenses. There were so many close calls. Everybody on the edge of their seats. Pinfall after pinfall. And within this war, this bloodbath of a fight, Saya had a look in her eyes where she felt hesitant dishing out more punishment. But despite everything that was thrown, Saya had to put Tom down with her own move. From what I could tell, referee Daichi did not want to put the final count for 3. He really didn't want to do it. And when the dust settled and Saya ended up on top, Tom just laid there defeated. Everything stripped away. Saya had her goal done. But Tom has placed a curse onto Saya to fulfill all the dreams, goals, and aspirations that she wanted to do, and she forced it onto her shoulders. And just don't get me started on how this masterpiece ended. There you have it, folks. Those are my top 5 certified hood classics of 2025. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Without any further ado, thank you all for watching, and hopefully it can all go up from here with matches. Take care, everyone.